Hello and welcome back to another 5-minute first impression. I'm Anthony Malik and this is reviewyour.website, reviewing mediaprowebdesign.ie. And this is the second review of mediaprowebdesign.ie. We just like to go into a little bit more detail on a few different aspects of the website. So we're loading up here. And okay, so you might remember the last review, we had some issues on the loading. It seems to be resolved now that it's cached, but the intro to the website is very clean, a lot nicer than it was on our first hit. So I have a couple just topics that I'd like to cover in this video. First of all, I talked a little bit in the last video, as I said, about the staggered loading. It's quite disorientating, and it's something that should definitely be addressed. The next thing is when you're using movement on your website, as we see on the text here coming in from the left and the image here coming in from the right, movement needs to be subtle. Subtle movement attracts attention. Non-subtle movement or large movement just distracts, which is it's a hard medium or a hard balance to find, but it's definitely worth experimenting with. I see you're trying to get a clean design here, and I definitely appreciate that. One of the maxims of having a clean design is to make good use of white space, and using white space is really what makes a clean design. In terms of your use of white space in this website, I think you're falling short in a couple of places. The first one I find, I see with your navigation here, it's a really beautiful navigation. It's lovely and clean, and it's subtle. However, it's bordered on the top by this navigation bar that's showing information that isn't absolutely necessary, and what it's doing is it's pushing everything. First of all, it's framing your nice white header here, but it's also pushing everything down further below the fold. So I would consider replacing this navigation bar up here and just letting this page or this white space here work, and let it don't overframe your main content down here. So the next thing I would like to talk about is your carousel. So this is essentially a carousel down here, and there's a lot of criticism of carousels throughout all over the internet. But you've chosen it, and it's clearly working in this particular design. However, it's not playing by default, but what we do have is we have the auto playing controls down here on the bottom, overlapping some of your text, which is distracting, and it's just cluttering what's going on here. So if you're not going to have it auto playing, you could remove this and just leave the buttons on the left and right where people expect them to be, and not worry about covering your text. The next thing I'm going to talk about is your color palette. So what we have here is, okay, you're clearly going for a mainly blue and navy color palette, but we've also got the other primary colors, red, green, and some yellow down here, which is becoming a little bit distracting. You're trying to I can see that you're trying to attract attention to Web Design Galway, but that's going to happen anyway because it's large text. It's larger than its neighbours. The contrast is there. I think this would actually work with just white text, and you wouldn't have to clutter it with the extra colours going on there. Also, you're repeating the word Web Design Galway. Obviously, that's for search engine optimization, which is fair enough. But you're trying to what's happening is you're trying to attract attention to it up here, and then what's happening is the repetition is also attracting attention to the phrase. So it's kind of a balance: either repeat or make the text bigger and larger and brighter, one or the other. So something to think about. The next thing I'm going to talk about is a little bit down here. We're looking at text size and text decoration. So your text size is well below 14 pixels, which is the recommended size. We also have line lengths that are quite long, especially once we come down here. So the recommended line length is between 2 and 3 alphabets, or somewhere between 40 and 90 letters across. Excuse me. And this is clearly a lot longer. Also, we've a lot of text decoration going on here. This is bold, italics, and underlined. It only needs one, and what's happening is you're dragging attention away from the other things and adding it here where it doesn't need to be added. Finally, your header sizes are inconsistent. We have a lot of different header sizes throughout the website. I'll just continue this video on. You have a lot of headers throughout the website. Let's pick a few examples here. Just move this out of the way, sorry. So we have, obviously all these are headers. This is typically is conceptually a header. You also have this here, which is standing out as a header, and this standing out as a header. Then, so that's 3 different sizes and colors of header text straight away. Then we also have this one and this one, which is essentially you know, a header 3. If this would be a header 2, that would be your header 3. Now, I haven't looked at the actual HTML. I'm just giving them some sort of hierarchy, and this would be a header 4. And then we're scrolling down, and this is another header going on here, or it's at least lead text. Then we have another header here, which is does it match this? Maybe it does, but because the color isn't there, it's looking inconsistent. Then we also have these headers here, which maybe they match these, but because of the alignment being in 4 smaller columns, they also seem like they're a different part of your hierarchy. Scrolling down further, we have another lead going on here, another color of the header text going on, and another header text down here. So there's a lot of different and another one here. I mean, I'm sure I could go and I could look at the code, and I'm sure most of them match up, but it just feels inconsistent. I'm not too sure whether that's the use of different colors, or whether it's the use of center aligned versus left aligned, or center aligned in different areas, but it just doesn't feel consistent throughout the website. Something to work on. So another thing that I actually found interesting, or something that's worthy of note, I think, on this website is you're advertising web design, but all we see throughout the website is a lot of stock photos. This one, these here, down here. You're not advertising actual work that people can see and people can trust. So if there's something I would mainly recommend out of the 3 videos that I've done on this website, I think the thing that would strike me most and improve this website most would be to add actual solid examples, stuff that you've worked on. You know, have them right up there in your face, above all this text. Let the text go below it. I know it's there for SEO reasons, but you know, with the examples above it, you don't need to read the text. You'll get the benefit of the SEO without having to, you know, distract and almost bore your users. And lastly, just as I finish off, just a couple of things I noticed was where are we going? Where did I find it? We are really good on SEO. So I think for a native English speaker, I would say we are really good at SEO, or with SEO. On just seems unnatural, and you should definitely check out our other website as well. You see the way I said check out? I said that I actually tried to read the sentence naturally and point out that out was missing. You should definitely check out our other website as well. If you're using the word just check, it has a different connotation to saying check out, so maybe look at that. So I think that's about all I have to say about this website for the moment. You know, if you'd like to see more of my reviews, please check out the YouTube channel. And if you'd like to hear more about this particular review, give me an email at malak@reviewyour.website. Thanks very much.